We'll get a live game yet. Nope, this is not doing it. Yeah, okay, it is. We got this. Dang it. Okay, so just playing a game on the ladder. I always play Zerg. Played literally a couple thousand games of Zerg and like one is each other race. Just got the Zerg versus Zerg again. So the plan here is to go spawning pool first. Well, you go get a gas, then you get a spawning pool, and then get a hatchery afterward, because it keeps you safe against early aggression from your opponent. Also lets you put on some early pressure. So we're going to send our first Overlord here, and then up onto this little high ground right here, so that it can't get taken out by a queen unless my opponent sends their Overlord there to do so. Okay, next we want a spawning pool here. No, we want another Overlord. Why did I not make another Overlord? Okay. Already screwing up the build. It's okay. Once this Overlord pops, I'm going to make 2 more workers. Then we're going to make a gas and a spawning pool. Just doing everything in the wrong order today. So we want worker, then the gas, then another worker, then the spawning pool. And position them like this so you can put a queen here between your spawning pool and your hatchery, and you can put her on hold position. That way if your opponent tries to come in with early aggressive Zerglings, they have to run further to get your workers. As soon as the... Did I hotkey this Overlord? No. As soon as this one finishes, we want to put 3 drones in it. That way the Zergling speed upgrade can be done quickly. Let's see, I have a lot of minerals, so we'll go ahead and expand down here. You do this after you make the spawning pool in this matchup, keeps you safer against the early aggression that's frequently a part of Zerg versus Zerg. Need another Overlord soon. Okay, make a queen here. So we're going to start the Zergling speed upgrade on 100 gas, and then we're going to make several Zerglings here. I'm just saying my Overlord don't place on the map to see attack paths, my second and third Overlords. So my first Overlord goes over here. If I put it close enough that it can see creep if it gets here, which will tell me if my opponent went hatchery first. And then my other ones are to check out the attack paths, one over here and one up this way, to just see if there see units leaving my opponent's base. There's a queen. Make sure I inject so I get more larvae. I really need... Let's just make another queen. I got the money. And then I really just need to make a whole bunch of Zerglings. Gonna make some Baneling nests now. So that's like the next phase of the game if you do see Zerglings here. Okay, so my opponent did go hatchery first. What is this? That's their Baneling nest. Okay, so they're doing the same thing. Okay, my Overlord's probably dead because my opponent does have an Overlord here to spot for the queen. So it's a good thing I made a spare Overlord, but I need to do that again. Let's make another queen here. I want to actually go in and check out if my opponent has any workers here. Okay, so my opponent has a lot of Zerglings. They already have so many workers here. This tells me that we are going to be playing a longer game in all likelihood. So my Zergling speed upgrade just finished, which means they can stay out on the map more easily and check out what's going on. I'll actually set my rally point here. So I actually want to just drone up, and the plan's now going to be to make roaches, which is the thing you do if the Zergling stage of the game doesn't end up with one player having been beaten. So you see my opponent's got their Overlord outside of their base. Just check out what's going on. I actually just want to go into the base and see what's up. Okay, that's they're doing roaches too. Okay, so we're under no threat of dying right now. It's going to be a while before there's any trouble. So I do want to keep the Overlords checking out the attack paths here. I want to creep up to connect my bases. I want to also get another base. I also need to make sure I don't get supply blocked. Keep getting supply blocked. So I'm just sending Overlords out to a bunch of places on the map to check for where my opponent might be taking more bases and where there are attack paths they might come down. So once I have enough drones at my bases, I'm going to make a roach warren. And I'm going to put 2 evolution chambers in front of it. I'm putting it kind of tucked back in here on the roach warren because that's a really important building to keep alive, so I don't want to put it out easily. I don't want to make such a choke that I can't get past it here. I want to, if my opponent fights, I want to make a concave with my army back here. Okay, so I have enough drones here. Gonna go ahead and make more gas so that I can actually start getting higher tech units and getting the upgrades. Oh, what's that? Oh, I let me get a queen for no reason because I wasn't fast enough to react. It's alright. My opponent's just going to see the same thing I saw and go, okay, we're not likely to die anytime too soon. So they're giving me the runaround with the Zerglings, and that's okay. I'm not going to sweat it a whole ton. See, they're making a 3rd base over there too, so we're okay. Make a whole bunch of drones for this base, make a queen for it. Already getting the attack and defense upgrades for the roaches. I actually want to also get the speed upgrade for my overlords. Did I put people in my gas? Okay, I did. I did put drones in the gas up here. As soon as the layer is done, I want to make the speed upgrade for the roaches. Okay, what's that? Okay, so there's some banelings here and a queen. Okay, so my opponent's making the roaches now. I'm going to make a few overlords and then nothing but roaches for the rest of the game. And maybe they're morph the Ravager. I don't know how we're doing in terms of upgrades compared to my opponent. Oh, they already have a lot of army and I don't. So I really need my overlords to hatch so I can make enough roaches to not die. Okay, so what just finished? Oh, overlord speed. Okay. What is that? That's my Zerglings out on the map. Okay. Good job, Zerglings. You saw the incoming army. I need so many more roaches yesterday. It's not even funny. I still might be able to hold this. I have defender's advantage because my roaches hatch closer to the fight than my opponent's roaches if they do end up coming over here. I'm still going to try to go out on the map with the overlords to see what's going on. I really want my roaches to group up here. No, don't kill my plus attack or armor, whichever one that is. I might have been too greedy. I might have made one too many rounds of drones here where my opponent made another round of roaches. This is the thing in Zerg versus Zerg. It can be really demanding like that. You miss just a tiny bit and you get overrun like this. My opponent just started making roaches the tiniest bit sooner and that ended up with them winning the game. Maybe not. Maybe I can still hold this. We'll see. Try to target fire their roaches if we can. Just okay. Yeah, no, they just have too much here. If I'd had these couple defensive structures out a little bit sooner, maybe we would have been okay. But because they weren't, just not happening. We'll see. We've got still some defenses over here. But I think that's actually just a... Do I still have a Roach Warren somehow? Wow. Can't believe I still have a Roach Warren. Yep, I'm just dead here. Oh, I accidentally quit instead of rewinding it. That's okay. You can just go to the replays and find it that way. Take a second to load back up, which it wouldn't do if you just click the rewind, but that's okay. Okay, so here's what happens in the early game. just speeding through it because everything in Zerg versus Zerg is very standard and figured out. See, my opponent intentionally extractor tricked. What you can do is you can make a drone into a extractor. You can make another drone, then you can cancel the extractor and get your drone back. It makes you temporarily have one more drone than you should be able to have. It's a way to squeeze out a few extra resources in the early game. But if you're not doing a super aggressive build, it's normally not that big of a deal. So my opponent actually... Okay, this map is so large, I thought actually my opponent had gone hatchery first, but I guess I was mistaken. So here we both kind of just check out what's going on with the Zerglings. I guess I send mine to check him out. He leaves his at home defensively to guard against an all-in because he wants to go play to the next stage of the game. See the Roachwarren, I do see that in a minute with that Zergling. Okay, we'll put this back down to regular game speed. So has just defensive banelings to guard against Dinosaur Zergling Pressure. I already decided that we're past that stage of the game. Time to just make drones. I correctly assessed that I can take a third base to get more production, but I think the problem is I put too many drones there too quickly when I need to be making some fighting units. So you see my opponent's got the Roachwarren done, and I don't believe mine has even started yet. Just gives them an advantage on making more roaches. Not injecting the hatchery over here. I'm sure mine will look that way too. Hey, look, I actually did it right for once. So yeah, we take third bases at actually about the same time because we both come to the same conclusion that, oh, this game's going to go on for a little bit longer. My opponent gets a single evolution chamber where I get two, so I'm trying to get both the attack and the defense upgrades. For my opponent, I assume is going to only get the attack upgrade here. Yep. You get the attack upgrade because it makes the roaches defeat both Zerglings and other roaches faster. However, the first armor upgrade negates the first attack upgrade in Roach versus Roach. I reacted way too slowly here. I could have saved this queen by sending my Zerglings here sooner. And that would give my opponent so much less information. They just get to run all over my base with the Zerglings forever. Just see, oh, hey, look, the layer's partway done. Oh, yeah, you have a Baneling nest, and you have a Roachwarren, and all things that look normal for Zerg. I think they even saw the researching evolution chambers on the way by, too. So yeah, my opponent's already started making roaches, has the +1 attack coming before mine is, only by a little bit. Well, no, by quite a lot, like 30 seconds there. So that's kind of a lot of time. Notice my opponent has a lot more supply than I do already, because they're making the roaches already, where I have made 13 workers for this base, and still only have this handful of Zerglings as attacking units and a couple queens that are really, their job is to be at the hatchery and inject it to make more larvae, not really to get in fights. So my opponent will sit here, I assume, until Roach Speed and +1 get done, and then probably just walk across the map and get me is what happened here. And yeah, see, there's, what's that, 16, 17 roaches? Where I have got no roaches yet. But I do see this walking across the map and start making them. So my opponent does have 5 more roaches. So that's 22 roaches now to my 0 and handful of Zerglings I have to fight them with. So that's not enough. My opponent still has those handful of Zerglings from the early game too at this point. I haven't connected the creep for my better defense either. Not that you can defend without any units. So my opponent's Roach Speed's going to finish first. My opponent's +1 attack already finished. That's why they're moving on the map, because Roach Speed's going to finish right as their attack hits, so they can retreat if they need to. But they've sent in some overlords to see, and they've already assessed, oh hey, I have so much more stuff than my opponent. So they make some Zerglings into Banelings, because at least they can explode and do some damage on the roaches. But my opponent just gets here, I have way not enough roaches. I'm making like 7 at a time to the 20 that are walking into my front door. So it's never reaches that critical mass that can actually prevent my opponent from just walking over and winning like this. So from there, yeah, I just end up losing. Even though I'm an upgrade ahead, it doesn't matter because I have so few units that the upgrade doesn't do very much for me. I don't have enough roaches to live to get enough shots to actually defeat their roaches more efficiently, which my upgrades would allow them to do. So yep, just from here, Takes me a while because for a while I have this thought that, oh, maybe I can make enough roaches, but no, it never quite happens.